What's new in the Lou? Yo, I'm KB. I got a special guest with me today. You know what I'm saying? So go and let the world know who you are.
What's up, everybody? I'm Tendai, also known as the Hair Whisperer, Tendai Morris. I'm the president and CEO of Healthyhairsolutions.
Whisperwhip.
That's the name of the brand. It was
the
Whisper brand, Whisperwhip brand. Yep.
I want to get into as far as like how did you start Healthy Hair Solutions in the first place?
Okay, so I'm a licensed barber and cosmetologist. So
okay.
I started in the shop when I was 12 with my dad.
Okay.
My dad's a barber. There's 5 children. We all are hairstylists and barbers. So just growing up, this is a story. My father had this picture. My father's an artist also, so he would draw. And he had this picture of a sketch of an umbrella that he drew out. And on the umbrella, like the little pieces that, little pieces that hanging out on the side of the umbrella. Well, on there, he had these different branches of what he saw in his mind as far as what he wanted to do. And this is like back in the 70s when there wasn't a whole lot of opportunity for African-American people. So he just had, drew out, he wanted to have a school one day. He wanted to make hair care products. He wanted to have a barber shop, beauty shop. He had inventions going on. He had his umbrella, it's all these different things. And so with the 5 kids, it's crazy because everything that he wrote on that picture is what we're doing. So I got hair care products. My brother owns a barber school at St. Charles. Wow. My other brother has a barber shop. My sister had a salon. So it's like we all started kind of branched off and did that. But the way I got into making hair care products was when I decided to fully focus on hair, I wanted to focus on natural hair.
Yeah, so, natural hair.
Yeah. And that was like when people weren't really, it wasn't that popular. Like people wasn't really feeling it like that. So I would say, Jeanne, the group Jeanne. I don't know if you remember Jeanne. It's a group. They sing that song. We're moving on, keeping strong.
Oh, no, I might be a little young, so.
Yeah, but you're so young for you.
I probably heard it before.
You probably heard it. It's like a roller skate. They used to have their haircut really low, so I'm taking you back a little bit. But anyway, back then, I thought that was so cool. But relaxers were really, really, really in. That was the thing. Everybody wanted their hair straight. Nobody wanted to wear their natural texture, anything like that.
Right.
So that was going against the grain. I used to cut my hair off. I would cut mine real short and wear it, curly, my natural curls. And plus, I didn't have time to deal with my hair anyway because I was working on everybody else. So in that, I fell in love with texture between being a barber and then helping, women to just kind of, I like the feel of natural hair. So in that, I just kind of embraced and knew that I didn't want to do any relaxers. I wanted to do hair the way that it was produced. Okay. And I wanted to make that beautiful because I just think that black is beautiful. I think natural hair is pretty, and I wanted to, really help people to embrace that. So that's how I got started with natural hair. The making products came because in that movement, everything was supporting natural hair. I mean, straight hair.
Right.
So the shampoos were for straight hair, the conditioners, everything was for straightening hair. So unless it was something really heavy, it was all these negative connotations that came along with natural hair. Oh, it's nappy, it's hard to work with, it's brittle, it's so strong, you gotta be rough with it. Well, as I started working with it more and more, I realized that wasn't even true. It was really about a lack of knowledge for what to do with the fibers and the form that it takes, the curls, the coils.
Right, because you say that, if you searching for that natural hair education, you're the person that they need to come holler at.
Absolutely.
For real.
People start calling me the hair whisperer because literally when I'm working on their hair, I would educate them on what to do with their hair so they can be empowered,
Yeah, because over the years, even growing up, I got a lot of sisters and, my mother, of course, they was always into, the weave hairstyles and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. A lot of the stuff that was pulling the hair out your hair, damaging your hair more than nourishing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And a lot of women had alopecia and didn't understand why. They didn't understand that there were different types of alopecia. Some of it was from stress. Some of it was from tension, like pulling braids too tight and too small. Right. All of that, and then putting the relaxers on top of that. And then on top of that, there was a connection made between fibroid tumors and relaxers in Black women. So, it was just a lot of different connections. That was one of them. Of course, foods that we eat and things like that play a part in that too. But yeah, all of that just made me say, you know what? Nah, I want to try to focus and, try to keep the hair looking nice.
And I see that you big on edge control as well.
You know what? Yeah, I am in a way. That's one of my products. I have edge control, but That came more so because it was a demand. People wanted, you know, I got my edges slayed now, but people want edge control. So I produced edge control, and it's dope too. It's really good. And it works off 4C hair. A lot of people be like, "Does it work off?" I'm like, "Yes, it does."
Okay. So, as far as making your hair products, like, do you do this in a lab or at home, or are you at a point now to where you got a manufacturer?
Yeah, I definitely have to have it manufactured because I couldn't produce enough. You know, you can't scale in your kitchen like that. It's like it's not enough.
It gets dangerous too, huh?
It gets dangerous, but it's just
sanitary reasons and stuff too.
Exactly. Like you can't go into stores if your stuff is not labeled properly. You have to have the right safety data sheets and things like that in order to turn into the stores. And if you don't have that, then it's a no-go. So.
Right, because you got your products located in over 150 stores across the country.
150 beauty supply stores we'll be going into, but we also have our stuff is on Amazon, which is the nation's largest distributor
pretty much
of products, So Amazon is on Amazon,
How did that
5-star.
Okay, I want to say, how did that whole thing come about? You just being able to get your stuff over across 150 stores, get your stuff on Amazon, for people that don't know how to properly get their business into those stores or don't have the knowledge.
Yeah, I'm really, really big on timing. I approached this business with the thought that whenever it's time for me to move and grow, I will be prepared to do that. So I never really look at it from a standpoint of, hey, I'm gonna make this product and I'm gonna go into Amazon. I was not thinking about that at all. It was just like I was just reaching one person at a time. And as the demand grows, that's when you make the adjustment. So literally, when it was time for me to go, for example, into Macys, people approached me. And once I started to understand what they needed, I just had to get all of those things in place and just kind of work my way through it. That's just my journey. But if somebody asks me, hey, how do you get in Target? Well, there's a website. You just go on Target.com and then you scroll to where it says become a vendor and you click on that and you fill out the application process. And it's a toss in the air. You know what I mean? But my situations have literally come from firsthand connections, being at the right place at the right time.
I want to know, what were some things you were doing in the beginning to help spread awareness about your haircut products?
I was literally at every single event you could think of.
Okay.
I don't care if the event was in a basement. I don't care if it was on a big main stage.
You was there.
In town, out of town. I traveled. I literally did a tour of the United States. Like I looked on, what is that, Eventbrite. Right. And I typed in natural hair events. And the stuff would come up across the country. And I literally would go through and apply to each and every one of them. And when they come back and they say, I would just fill up my calendar with dates. And me and my husband, we hit the road. Either we'll fly there, come back. And I never went into it with the mindset of I'm going to come back broke. That was never the mindset. I always came back with something in my hand.
You're going to come back with something.
Something, yeah.
A deal or anything. We're going to come back with something.
We're going to come back with something. You know what I mean? So,
I'm saying that we made something happen, even if it ain't no money for them.
Exactly. Because, that's the hustler in me. I'm a hustler. I've been that way, And so I see a way to make money all the time. Everywhere I go, there's a way to make money. As long as I got my 2 hands and breath in my body and a voice, I'm going to be able to do what I need to do.
Yeah. And, what's some ways that you make money outside of your haircut products? Are you into NFTs, crypto?
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, I was just messing with my crypto before I pulled up on a lot of trading and stuff like that. So yeah, I do that as well.
You be hustling though, because I've seen that van plenty of times, and then I think as soon as I got done first contacting you about the interview and everything. Mm-hmm. I started to see more of that van. Like,
right, there she go again.
Right, I remember seeing it at the Rice House, a little bit everywhere. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
The Rice House good too. But sidebar, STL. But anyway, that van came about as soon as the pandemic hit. Okay. Because of course we were doing our deliveries through UPS and the Postal Service.
Oh, okay, wow.
And FedEx and stuff like that. Well, UPS got backed up.
Yeah.
You know, and I always say the mother of invention is necessity. If you're a real hustler, ain't nothing gonna stop you, right? So I started a delivery service because they were backed up, and so my orders were not getting into my customers' hands locally as fast as I needed it
right,
to
as fast
be.
as you wanted it to
That
be,
2-day
right.
service was turning into like a week.
Mm.
So I was like, bump that. Okay, I got a car. You got a car. I said, I put my sons in there. Okay, y'all take that car. We're going to package these up. And they would have like 20, 30 boxes. I would have about 50 boxes in my car. Me and my husband would drive and deliver. We split up. So I knew, I was okay, we need a van.
Team. Okay.
I was like, we need a van. So we got a van, and that's how that started, you know. But, you know, the van is like advertisement too. So like you said, you see it, people see it all over the place. I have people pulling up beside me. Hey, I use that. I have people going on my website because it's on there. So yeah, it's a reason for everything. Like, yep.
Did you start the delivery service during the pandemic or before the pandemic?
During the pandemic.
Okay.
That happened literally out of necessity.
Yeah.
That literally happened during the pandemic.
Because the pandemic was kind of slowing things up as far as, even to this day, as far as people getting stuff on time. And, you know, we got stuff on the East Coast as far as the docks and the places where, you know, stuff is imported. Just sitting there.
Yep. So I just started thinking of ways. I mean, that's just, I think that's the beauty of not being taught to not think. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the beauty of non-traditional education.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not limited in what I can do when. I'm not waiting for somebody to give me permission to do anything. I'm just, if it needs to be done, I'm gonna go do it.
Right.
You know, if I need to sweep and shovel the snow, I'm gonna shovel the snow. You know, I don't gotta wait for nobody to do none of that stuff. So
yeah, a lot of people don't understand that you really got to get out of the city. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to really see things take off with your brand, your business, or whatever you got going on.
Yeah, you know, I mean, yeah, you that's a good way. When you say get out of the city, you mean out of like where you are yourself?
Yeah, right. Where you from? You know, like you got your stuff in 150 stores because you hustled.
Yeah, because I went out and actually,
out.
yeah, you know, and the crazy thing about that is measuring yourself up against people that's not near you. That's how you determine exactly where you are. Because what a lot of people like here feel like, oh man, she doing it. Well, when I go on the East Coast, it's 1,000 of me that's really doing it, and I'm like, okay, how do I do that?
Right,
you know
because
what I mean?
want to know like, what's some of the products that you sell the most, and just name me a few of your products that you really specialize in, really getting out there to the people that you love making.
Yeah, so the Whisperwhip hydration, that's my flagship product. That's the #1. It's a co-wash, a deep conditioning treatment, and leave-in styling cream. That's the #1 product. It's versatile. Guys use it. The ladies use it. The kids use it. It's safe for everybody, the whole family. So that's our #1 flagship. I'll say second from that now is our Whisper Edge Control. People are loving that stuff. You know what I mean? So that's another one that's really popular right now. We have our products in a lot of the hairstylists' hands. So we have now, I expanded the Whisper line too during the pandemic, so a little later on. But the shampoo, the conditioner, because at first I only had one product, that was Whisperwhip. But now I have Whisperwhip shampoo, conditioner, curl defining cream, edge control, and a styling gel. And I'm actually getting ready to expand that further, you know. So yeah, those are some of my favorites. And our oil serums are good too, so.
What is it about your products that stand out from everybody else? Because you say it's like 1,000 people that's doing what you're doing in New York City, LA, Houston, you know, vice versa, you know what I mean?
What makes me stand out? I would say right now is my tangibility, like the ability for me to be, to advocate for my own products. You know, I literally am a hairstylist, so I can relate to the stylists and what they're going through with their natural hair clients, and I can also relate to the customers and what they're going through in their natural hair journey. So I kind of just go between both and help support and bring a better scenario for the hairstylist and experience for the client that goes to their hairstylist that does not normally do and focus on natural hair. You know, so yeah, it's kind of giving them an edge. I'm actually in some schools too now. Like
that's what I wanted to ask you next. You know, did you go to any schooling before any of this? You know, for just cosmetics, hair.
No, I didn't. I went to cosmetology school and I got my barber license too. But I didn't go to school for business. You know.
Okay, what about like teaching you how to make them products? Is that something that you learned from your dad?
Yeah, more
Pretty
so,
much.
in trial and error, and then actually partnering with companies that actually have scientists that do that.
Oh,
That
okay.
was my thing more so. That was my thing more so. You know, you want to know what's funny? Like what I did before this
Yeah.
is I was in the music business.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
also a producer and writer, so I done music for many years, and I thought that's what I was going to be doing. So I was running away from hair.
Was you a singer?
I'm a singer. I did a lot
Okay.
of hooks. I did a lot of stuff like back in the day. I mean, I've done a lot of hooks for people, you know. But now, and I did a lot of writing too. I had an album out.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I
cool.
was in a singing group. And
Oh,
I did a lot
wow.
of stage stuff. And
Now that's some facts that people probably didn't know. So
probably
that's.
don't, but the ones who know. The ones who know. Hmm.
Did you do anything with like anyone that was like real famous or something like that?
Oh yeah, I have. I've done a lot of stuff. More so behind the scenes, you know. A lot of the groups that you probably won't even realize them, but there was some songs that were out.
Because I'm born in '91, so yeah,
91. You were born in 91?
yeah.
There was a song called Catch 22. I don't even know if you know, but it was like, it says, it's damn if you do and damn if you don't. Knick, knack, patty, whack, drop it, where them dollars at, take it to the flow. Gotta stack, don't live for the,
Okay,
no. Whoa. It was like a song they had out. So the Track Boys, and
okay.
they
I know
did
the
that.
Track Boys.
I worked with them. Track Stars,
Okay,
I worked with them too. I had a group
okay.
called STL that we had signed to Universal Background that I wrote, got them, you know, helped get them signed. Chingy, I was supposed to be on one of his songs, but I ended up not doing it because I think I was pregnant or something was going on at that time. But that song, Chingy, why your eyes so chinky?
Okay,
Yeah, I
yeah, I
was supposed
remember
to do
that.
that hook, but I ended up not doing it. So he actually did it himself. But either way, it turned out great.
Wow,
But
he sang that himself.
he did it himself, and
Wow.
they just altered it, you know, the voice
Mm.
and stuff to make it uh, you know, sound like a female, but it was actually him.
What made you transition 100% completely away from the music business?
So I actually haven't though. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
okay, so you still kind of dibble dab with it?
It's still in me. But what made me just kind of like more so now focus on the hair stuff
Yeah.
is because that's where my money is right now. You know, that's where I'm actually gaining that traction. So it's like you have to focus on something at some point. You can't do everything great. You can do a lot of stuff good, but you have to focus on something and do that great. So that's what I did. But I miss music. I love music. That's something that I am going to revisit at some point, but I'm not sure exactly when. I just know that it's a part of me.
Okay, now
So
you
yes.
said you a perfect person to get to educate people on the hair business. So do you offer any mentorship for people, like any like intern programs or something?
You know what? Actually, I am. I'm looking for some interns actually to
Right.
do some work with me on the
Okay.
business side. You know, some interns to help with like social media, marketing and things like that, and also sales. So yeah, we are looking for some interns to work with. I've had a couple of people mentor me under me when I was actually doing hair in the salon, and they would shadow me, and they're actually on my style team now. So that's kind of dope.
What's some unforeseen things people should look out for if they want to get into this business that you're doing?
Unforeseen things.
Yeah, like what's some challenges they might have to come across? Like, well, what's some challenges that you overcame that you can give advice to people out there that's trying to get into the same business that you're doing, that's young right now, probably in their teens, early 20s, something like that?
Man, it's so many things. But you know, the crazy thing is that I find it hard to answer that question because I don't look at them as challenge. Like when I think challenges, I think difficult or something that's impossible. So I feel like literally there's an answer for every puzzle or problem. You know what I'm saying?
Like nothing is possible, nothing impossible.
Right. It's just that you may not see it at that moment. So what was challenging for me was understanding like safety data sheets, where that comes from. Understanding that what my Duns and Bradstreet number was for. Understanding like getting MBE certification and WMBE certifications, and just what types of
Okay.
certifications and what you're able to do with that. I'll tell you what was challenging. Thanks for opening this up.
Okay.
What was challenging was learning how to prepare my pallets for shipping and distribution.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? What's crazy to me is that I realized, like, you know, this is a sidebar. You ain't got to put this in the interview, but like the dope game is just like the business side. Like some of these guys that's out here that's been locked up for doing and selling, you know, they slinging they stuff. It's just like, it's the same exact format but with a different product.
Right.
And I just feel like that's so sad. Like after I realized it, I'm like, dang, you know, all these brothers that they locked up.
If they put their energy towards
just to get
something else,
product.
different product,
man. Like, dude, come to sell this shampoo. Y'all can, you know what I'm saying? You can really, really get some traction going with stuff like that. So, right. You know, I think about that kind of thing, and it's just mind blowing how intelligent we are, and a lot of us don't even really realize it. You know, other people realize it, but as long as you don't realize it, you stay kind of numb down and dull. You know, it keeps the other people ahead of you. You know. Yeah,
it keeps us in this box. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think we realize our own power.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's so much potential here in the city. You know what I'm saying?
A ton.
Yeah.
But we don't really tap into it. We're so busy turning up and also numbing ourselves at the same time. I was on Kings Highway. I grew up in the city, so right. I was over on Kings Highway yesterday, and I was telling my husband we're driving. This is a liquor store that's right by Natural Bridge gets PX, Natural Bridge Kings Highway right there with the White Castle on. That's been a bustling little area ever since I was a baby. You know what I mean? And that PX liquor store has been there the whole time, and you know it ain't owned by none of us.
Right.
It's been there the whole time.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know what I'm saying? And I looked at it, and I saw all these people that's having these challenges, these men, okay, with all these challenges. They numb down, walking out of that building, walking in, walking out. And I just sat there and I said, they've made millions of dollars in that one spot, numbing our people, right. Numbing our senses.
Right. Buying the alcohol, we buying the smokes, or, you know, right. Whatever comes with that
you
life.
Know, in a depressed state. And my thing is that they're going to keep it convenient right there, because when you're feeling pain, that pain triggers you to make change. Mm-hmm. If you numb the pain, you don't feel like there's anything to change. So you continue. That's like a numbing. It's like a anesthesia, like, you know, they keep us in a mindset. I want to feel my pain. I want to feel it, because if I feel it, I can fix it. You can't fix that, you can't feel. You know, so that's where I'm at with that. And so I don't know, it's just like this whole journey. I just want to be able to shed that kind of energy and share that, you know, for people to be able to say, okay, I can do something outside of what I'm doing. I can change it, but you got to feel it.
Man, one thing that I noticed about you is that your husband works with you as well. You know, he helps you out with your business and everything. You know, how does it feel to have someone like that? And you said your kids help you out too. So how does it feel to have your family in your corner? Because of course you're going to have your family in your corner, but to actually be with you in the trenches, you know, out here. Yeah,
that's all I know. You know, I grew up with my mother and father in the shop. That's how we all grew up. Every summer I was at the barbershop with my dad. He taught us his craft, like how to cut hair and stuff. I did my first fade and all that at 12, like learning how to cut, you know, beards, all that stuff. So that was that's how I learned.
That's so tight.
And so that's all I know. I'm gonna have my kids with me. They're gonna learn what I learned and some. You know, so and vice versa and so on and so on. Like my little nephew, I got a little great nephew. If you go in a barbershop with my brothers, he gonna be, welcome to Priceless. He's like this big. he gonna tell you, he gonna be like, how you doing? Have a seat. My grandfather be with you in a minute. He like that, you know. So it's like that's all I know. You know, I don't think my husband expected to be working a family business, but he was a businessman also. He owned a nightclub and all of that, you know.
So y'all been pretty business savvy as a family. Dad taught you early. Yeah. What about mom? Mom did too?
Yeah. My mother actually was a seamstress, but she worked at the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. And at that time, she went and got that job so we would have insurance. You know what I'm saying? Sure. Yeah, that's a whole nother story that I think it's funny. Like my father would share with me stories about how back then, they had 5 kids. You know, my father had gotten out of the military. He went and got, you know, his barber's license and stuff. And, you know, it was hard raising 5 children. My mother was like, well, you know, she's going to try to go get some food stamps and stuff to try to help out with the food and everything. And they basically told her that they could help her out more if he wasn't in the house. So my dad went in the house. And my dad was like, well, you just tell them to keep their stuff. We'll just do it,
Okay.
And with that being said, we ended up having a huge garden in our backyard.
Oh yeah, okay.
So I knew how to like grow food. We did all that, like growing food in the heart of the city. People would come by. Like, can I go, Mr. Price? Can I get some
So
vegetables?
y'all prepared for the apocalypse if it happened or whatever.
Come on with it. Like I know
the food shortage or
you grow your food, grow it. You know what I'm saying? There's food all around us. So yeah, I'm thankful for that. Like back then, I wasn't so happy because I'm like, no, we got this big old garden in our backyard, But I was telling my husband, this stuff was crazy, is that I never really got vegetables from the grocery store because we had it all the time in our backyard. The only thing we would get was like meat.
Okay.
And we had watermelons, we had grapes, we had tomatoes, green beans. People don't get to see that stuff nowadays, like how it grows.
Right.
So,
how you feel about the whole? I want to let me cut you off.
No, you good.
Now, I'm saying, how you feel about the whole plant-based thing now?
I'm actually we're plant-based eaters now. So that's how me and my husband. That's how we roll with plant-based.
Okay, same for me and my lady. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also wanted to ask you: do your any of your products cater to locks, dreads?
Yeah. So literally, I just started working on a lock pomade, and but people do use the Whisperwhip to keep it's funny, wife was talking about that moisture in the locks and help them to not be so dull and brittle. The Whisperwhip that's what it is hydration in a bottle. So I have a lot of people that put that Whisperwhip in their hair to help it to be a lot more hydrated.
Yeah, because people forget the importance of keeping your hair hydrated. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you got locks and dreads.
Yeah.
What was your worst experience with a haircut with product, that you was putting together, when you was in the beginnings of doing it? Because I know you went through some trials and error, you know what I'm saying? So what's like a crazy story?
A crazy story, like when you you just be sensitive about when you share something with people, with something that you created, you get negative feedback about it. But you have to understand that people are going to have complaints. And if they have complaints, you got to be prepared to not get defensive. You got to literally really hear what they're saying. Like you got to stop, take yourself out of the equation and hear what they're saying. And then you got the answer. A lot of times I realize that they're just using the product incorrectly. They're going into it with the mindset of what they've been told for straight hair. And it's more of a conversation. And like once they change it up, they're like, oh, okay, yeah, it's working for me now. And if it doesn't work for them, that's cool too. Just keep it moving. So I really don't have like a horror story. I guess I'm so easygoing. I just kind of take things with a grain of salt and just fix it.
Just fix it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, that's all you do. Just fix it.
I want to know, like, going into 2022, how do you plan on expanding your business?
So yeah, we got a few things that are taking place. I have a style team here, a product style team. Well, they actually work with me for like stage shows, things like that. Visuals for the company. Our goal is to beef that up some more. Also, we are working on like our sales team. So we're hiring people to go out and handle sales for different salons. It's more of a concierge for them. And then some of the other things are just, increasing our product, more products, you know what I'm saying? Putting more products together.